gentlemen, let me just bring this down and bring back the gameplay. We got to get into this handheld. I'm going to go in reverse order because, both of you guys are tech guys. Like I come to you and I ask you the questions because I know tech, but they know tech. And if there's a source to go to, it's either Hargeet or it's Keasante. So one of the people in the chat says, why have 64 gigabytes of memory for this Xbox, Asus, or Asus handheld? But you know what? Let me give credit where credit is due, as we do here at Double Barrel Gaming. The story was, in fact, pulled by TheVerge.com. I'm going to add it to the show notes. So if you want to read it for yourself, I encourage you to do so. It was written and posted by Dominic Preston. He is a news editor with over a decade of experience in journalism. And the lead title is Xbox and Asus Xbox handheld appears had to been leaked online. And I just want to kind of give you just the opening salvo of what the article says. This is the first photos of the Asus Rog Ally 2 have surfaced online thanks to regulatory listings, but with a twist. There are two versions of the gaming handheld, and one features a dedicated Xbox button. The article goes on to say, Keasante, we reported 2 months ago that Microsoft was working with Asus to develop the Xbox-branded handheld codename Project Kenan, not Keenan. That was a big hubbub. And this appears to be it. It's a black version of the otherwise almost identical white Rog Ally 2 with a small button on the top left corner bearing an engraving of the Xbox logo. That button is blacked out on the regular Rog, though it will likely be replaced or removed in its production version. So, Keasante, we've been talking about this for a while. This is not, just for some clarification, the Xbox handheld. This is a partnered device with Asus, and it is going to apparently run a version of Windows 11 that is scaled down to basically have this thing look and run like an Xbox, almost identical to it working like your home console. But again, Xbox does have their own handheld coming in the next couple of years. This is a partner device. Let's talk about this because these pictures, and again, if you are a neat freak, you're probably scratching yourself that why didn't they just clean these filthy things?
This was not the way you wanted to show it.
No, it's not.
It's not the way you want to show it.
Wipe it down for. It almost looks like they got it at someone dumpster dived and got this thing out of a construction site because it looks like it's like brick dust on there.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
First off, let's address the question that was asked. Why 64 gigs? Because, 64 gigs is true that it's unusual. It is unusual.
Yeah.
I buy a lot of handhelds. I buy handhelds by boutique makers in China and other places. They have 64 gigs as well, but that usually is reserved for the high end. Why? Because in a handheld, and here's an example of a handheld. One of them right here. This has 32 gigs actually of RAM in it. In a handheld, they don't have separate VRAM and quickly, VRAM is the RAM dedicated to the GPU. It runs differently than the regular RAM, but in a handheld where they don't have discrete separate card, they borrow some of the RAM from the regular computer and let it run for the eGPU. So for the vCPU VRAM. So the more regular RAM you have, the more you can allocate to your video card. So that way, let's say 2-3 years from now, when VRAM requirements are like 16 gigs or something ridiculous like that, which it's becoming ridiculous like that, you can still just go into your handheld and dial in more RAM, and now your machine can run it. Historically, in the past, when they didn't have that allocation, what would happen? You'd have really bad, I think Ally for a long time couldn't play certain AAA games because they didn't have the ability to allocate more VRAM, stuff like that. So it is a very smart move to allocate more RAM, way more than you need, because these small handhelds can do a lot with that kind of stuff. But in general, the reason why this thing is exciting is because it's basically following the line that we thought it would follow, right? Like, it's a handheld device that is not made by Microsoft, right? By all intents and purposes, it's almost like they took a controller that was made by Asus and they cracked it in half and put a screen on it. So it's got this controller feel on the back with a screen on the front of it, right? So that's what it's kind of, that's the energy it's trying to evoke. Some of us have been talking about that for some time now, that the holy grail, well, for them, is eventually getting to a place where it will just be a Lenovo device or an Asus device or anything else, or it'll be a Microsoft device, and you have many choices in it, right? This is speaking to that very notion with what they're releasing. What looks interesting though is that the white one has the Xbox button grayed out, whereas the black one has the Xbox button prominently featured or like that. So it's been rumor and speculation that maybe one is Steam based and the other one is Xbox based. Who knows? We'll see when it comes out. What's also notable is it looks like from what it sounds like from a hardware perspective, it is very much along the same line as the Z1, a la Z2. They're taking one of the really good new chipsets and they're repurposing it for gaming this way. So add to that and a bigger battery, and oh boy, it is going to run really well. Like, it is super optimized. We are excited to see what it looks like. This is great. For me personally, what this excites me for is the idea that of the software that Microsoft will bring to run on it, right? Maybe for a while this has exclusive software that can only be found on it, but in short order it'll be available elsewhere, right? And if it's available elsewhere, that means it can run on your original machines potentially, or it can run on other machines, or you can DIY it and install it on your own machine. I love that Microsoft is doing this.
I put it up on the screens, Kay, if you want to, if you want to make mention of it. Here's what it looks like. Again, on the left, it's disgustingly filthy, and on the right, it's not any better.
Yes, it's not any better. And whoever's messing with it, touch the screen all gross, like you're just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Someone needs to talk to. There's a reason it's called white glove, ladies and gentlemen. Put on a glove. Anyway. So yeah, that's what it looks like. I actually think it's pretty cool. As a person who uses a bunch of handhelds, I tend to focus on usability rather than design. And you can tell that while this may not have the greatest design, it'll definitely be ergonomically sound, right? It's made to be ergonomically sound, right? And it's funny. The handheld that I'm using currently, people have I see you in the chat, Rick L, calling it ugly. The handheld that I own, I've heard people say exactly the same. Oh, it doesn't look. But I will fight anyone and say it's the most ergonomically sound handheld that I've ever used, and this looks like it's doing the same thing. Same thing like PlayStation users, the Portal, right? They literally cut up a PS5 controller in half, seemingly, and put a screen on it. And because of that, it is super comfortable to hold. It's balanced well. It looks like that's what they're going for here, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest with you. I really hated the original ergonomic design of the Ally. It was not great for a person with my hand. It was not great. This far better. I just wish they had a bigger screen. They don't. It's still the 7-inch screen. I tend to like 8.8 or bigger. I like a bigger size screen, but this will be awesome. I look forward to it showing up in Best Buy and hopefully not being completely ruined by tariff pricing. We shall see.
Oh, dude, that's the other thing. Again, it's one of those things. If this would have already come out, it might have, just missed it. But now with everything that's happening, man, it's it's funny. I totally off subject, folks. Someone actually had DM'd me with this theory, and it's a pretty interesting theory. So again, we'll get back on track in a second, but one of the points that was brought to my attention was why the Grand Theft Auto delay. Was it because they needed more development time, or was it delayed because of tariff pricing for consoles? Because you got to remember something. It's only on next gen, meaning Series X, Series S, and PS5. It's It's not coming to PC, and it normally doesn't, right? Like some people try to suggest, oh, they want to do PC release at the same time. Maybe. I that's not how Rockstar rolls. They get everyone to double dip, and then you buy it on console and you buy it on PC. That's just how they roll, right? So I don't think it was that. But the angle of pricing for consoles makes sense because you're going to get PlayStation is going to raise the price of the console at some point. When that is, I have no idea, but they're going to raise the price. It's going to be very difficult for people to move from a 1X or a 1S or a PS4 or a PS4 Pro and then somehow be able to get what could be $100 game. It's again, if that's what it is, it makes perfect sense. But again, side tangent, it just popped into my head, and we were talking about tariffs, so that's why I wanted to make mention of it. Back on track, Hargeet. Let's get into these filthy handhelds. I mean, first of all, I'm very excited for it because I currently have a ROG Ally, and it works great. And you know the what the hell is it called? Something crate. The Armory crate.
Armory.
Yeah, the Armory crate. You know, you just it works. But it's. I'll put it this way, folks. It's a little too much PC for me. I kind of like the plug and play kind of a thing. I know how to work it, and I had to download ROMs. I had to do all the bells and whistles of it. But I kind of just want an Xbox handheld that just does Xbox stuff, meaning that I don't want to have to game in the cloud. I want to be able to download games that I own or on Xbox Game Pass into this thing and just go. And I think ultimately that's what this is going to be. Ultimately, that is what the Xbox handheld is going to be. It is going to be this device that probably can get you Steam games. I would imagine it's going to probably run parallel to the mythical box that is rumored to be happening in 2027. But for now, as a partner device, I actually think the first of all, I think the screen looks amazing. And obviously, it being a smaller screen, every game that you play on, it's going to look amazing. Hargeet, let's talk about these leaked pictures. And again, I understand that they're leaked pictures, but we were all under the impression that GDC was going to be the place where they showed this thing off, and they didn't. Now, I don't know why they didn't, but do you think that there's going to be potentially a shot at this June, which is just a pinch of under a month away, where we could see this thing actually show up at the Xbox showcase?
I tend to doubt it'd be at the showcase, especially being a partner device. If it was one of their own devices, it's a possibility, but I wouldn't expect, because look, you're going to need to really spend some time on this, right? It's not just a simple Xbox SKU with extra storage or something like that.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to really showcase it. So I don't know that they would do that at showcase, just because of the sheer number of games they have to show, right? I think they'd probably focus more on that. They could spend like a blurb, couple of minutes on hardware, but I don't think they would spend. You probably need like a good 15 minutes to go over how they're making this like better, right? What are the things they're doing to Windows to make it work better, et cetera, right? So it needs a little bit of work there, right? So a little bit of time. I would think this is a separate thing. I don't know when it's going to happen. It could happen this month, next month, maybe later. If it's already getting the approvals, it's probably close, right? So there probably would be some sort of a, now that it's leaked, they probably need to pull it forward, but some sort of a presentation on what it's about, and then the release date, right? Which will probably be a couple of months out or something like that. So we're close. From an overall perspective, we've already said this is a journey. It's not the end device, right? So you're not going to be playing your Xbox back catalog here. This is going to be PC based. It will do whatever the PC does. And it's really supposed to be an interface change on the Windows side. So we will see what that looks like. From a device perspective, I expect this to be expensive. I don't like the current ROG is like $700-800. So I don't expect this to be cheaper. There's no subsidy here. This is absolutely they've already told you that with the new current pricing for Xbox consoles, PlayStation consoles and Nintendo consoles. They're not taking any hit here. You're going to pay. Yep. It's going to be profit for them. This is a ROG, is Asus. Asus is going to make money off of each device. So, expect it to be in that range. I don't we're hearing the storage might be up to 2 terabytes. Maybe that's a more expensive SKU. I don't know. We'll see. But if it is like a 2 terabyte device, yeah, I would not be surprised if it's $900.
Wow.
If it's a 1 terabyte or half terabyte, maybe it comes in at $700 or $800. We will see. But it's going to be pricey. Like the ROG LIX, I think, is 800 list, something like that. So don't expect anything, much cheaper than that. It's right around that price.
Let me help you out with that, with the pricing. Right now, unbeknownst to most, remember the MSI Claw? That thing first came out and it wasn't that great, and then they released a new version. The new Claw AI with some updates is now the best performing device out there. So much so that it trades blows with Strix Point. Right now, it says coming soon on Best Buy. It was $799, $800, which was a bad. Oh no, I think it was $899. It was $900, which was a bad price. Now it's $999.
Wow,
MSI has gone across the board everywhere. Now to get that device with 32 gigs of RAM and a processor that really punches blows against the Strix Point, which is what's gonna be in this machine that you're looking at, it's $1,000 at Best Buy today. So that should tell you something.
Yeah, I again, I'm just warning people. Expect it to be pricey. Everybody balked $450 for a Nintendo. I'm like, dude, this is totally fine for what they're giving you. It's an actually a good price for the kit you're getting. I don't know why people balked at that. Why Nintendo should be cheap? Like the stuff they're giving you is pretty good, and for what you're getting, that's a fair asking price. And you'll see what I mean once this thing comes out and it's double the price. And then you can start complaining about how Nintendo is so expensive. It's not. So but this is handheld gaming, right? Like if you buy one of these, and Kay, you bought a lot of these, so you know how much these
it's what
cost.
Kay does.
They are expensive. They are expensive.
Hey now.
But hey, if it's a value to you, if you enjoy it, why not, right? This is our hobby, and if you have the money to do it, why not? It's fine. But for those who don't want to spend that kind of money, so I don't know if this is going to be a mass appeal device. It really is kind of in that, hey, I want to play every type of game. I want to have this new kind of interface, and I want to have this portable so that I can take it with me on, say, a train ride or a plane ride or something like that, right? You travel a lot. It might be worth it to you, right? There might be other use cases at home too, right? But go ahead, sorry.
The thing that might be cool for us and for you, gamer, who may not want to get into this hardware, is with this hardware comes cool software, right? And
exactly.
I'm on that train that when that cool software comes out, it'll make even your old hardware better. So this brings cool software with it. So you may not. It maybe tariffs may make it too expensive. Maybe market conditions may make it expensive. I think both combined will make it way too expensive. But ultimately, this is Microsoft bringing software to bear and partnering with Asus, who's bringing hardware to bear. What are we seeing right now? We're seeing Asus's hardware. What does Microsoft software look like? I bet it does not look like what it looked like. Oh yeah. We're not on the screen. Boom. Yeah.
I don't know if you.
You want me to bring it back up? Hold on a sec. Let me.
Yeah, bring us back up. Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Let me.
I bet that software is going to be super interesting. So I think that's where people should be excited.
Yeah, that's the journey, right? And if that software is available to more than just this device.
Yes.
Right. So whatever update they do there, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's ultimately available to the Ally One. It becomes like you want it, it's yours. That's the stuff. That's the stuff that will bring about a lot of excitement for those who like the game like this.
Yeah. It's an interesting time though. Like we will see when this comes out. It's possible that it's coming out in the next month or two. But as far as the release information, right? But yeah, I like it'd be good to see what it actually is, what they're actually doing with it. The Z2 Extreme. I think you're right that the black version is the Xbox and the white version is the Steam, and they're going to be two different two different performance targets.
Mhm.
So so that's a viability there. We'll see what
I
they
think
do.
I
with
think the
this.
Xbox variant is the more expensive and more performant
Of
one,
course.
And more powerful.
and the Steam and the Steam variant one is the one that's probably more like the Steam chip OG, right? The Van Gogh, the Ampere chip that they originally backed it on. That might be the next gen version, seemingly, of that. Shout out to the Fox, the great Fox. He's been doing some analysis with that as well. So yeah, it looks interesting. It really does, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
Now
No,
the
I got a
question
question.
Gross fingers, not with fingers.
would I buy? Asante, are you gonna buy it?
Oh, I'm buying it.
I'm getting one, sure. Yeah, I'm
course
getting
he
one.
is.
I'm most likely the black one. I'm most likely getting the black one. Why? Because
You want to see what the capability is, right?
Yeah, you know what'll stop me from buying one of these? What'll stop me from buying one of these is if they say, okay, this comes out in, say, I don't know, November. You could either have this thing, it has these features, this, that, and the third, or the same software is able and capable on your existing device. Because my existing device is more powerful than this, or it will be more powerful than this, right? The standard the 370 HXs are more powerful, right? So if you give me the software, I'd be happy about it. But we do live in a new world where taxes are abound and tariffs and this, that, and the third. So Best Buy might be the best look, right? It might be the best place to get this. So as long as they put a lot of thought into this hardware, it may be really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like.
Gentlemen, there is a person in the chat. Welcome, a bubble wrap in the chat. Ask a pretty interesting question. I think it's an easy answer, but you guys are tech guys. He says, why not copy the PlayStation Portal and make an Xbox Portal and price it at $200, and so it's able to play all Xbox games?
Oh, the easy answer is because they don't need to.
G, whatever the heck it
was. Which I have right here.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Which I have right here.
Exactly.
Yes. The reason why is because they don't need to do that, right? Like the Portal is the answer to Microsoft's question, right? What was the question? Xbox without a console, right? They gave you Fire Sticks. They gave you apps. They gave you a bunch of places to do that. Sony's answer was Portal. Right, they each do it in their own way, and the Portal's great. For the record, I own one. I love it. It's great.
I have one also. I play Vampire Survivors on it while I'm chilling on the couch all the time. It's great.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a different paradigm. It's a different solution, and frankly, I wouldn't have liked this solution from Microsoft because I already have the G Cloud, and it serves that purpose. And frankly, any Android device can be like that for Xbox, because they allow you to put their apps everywhere, similarly to PlayStation, right? So yeah, that's why I think that's the case. I think this move is a far better move on their part.
Well, I mean, again, from a Neanderthal point of view, I like the idea of being able to download your games onto this thing, as opposed to you having to turn on your console to play the Portal, which is what you have to do with the PlayStation Portal. Great device, great looking screen, but you're kind of stuck. This over here,
you're hampered.
Yeah.
It's not local rendering. It's all about the internet connection. If you ain't got the connection, you're done.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm gonna stop the screen share right there, and we get right back to the gameplay. But again, it's one of those things where I believe it's happening sooner than later. But the problem is with the current market, guys. Man, I don't know if this, again, you just said it. This thing could cost $1,000. I mean, only the elite.
There are Reddit horror stories of people buying seemingly a few $100 devices, but of course, yesterday they were seemingly a few $100. Today they're no longer a few $100. There are thousands now because tariffs on top. It's a thing. It's a thing. Obviously, when a device of this nature comes out, it won't be up to you to go figure it out or whatever. It will be at a Best Buy or whatever. But like I said, you go to Best Buy right now, the MSI Claw that was $899 is now $1,000 clean, right? So everywhere you're gonna experience some of this pain. It is what it is.